Hello witches, it's Stragabella, Kristen. I am coming to you today to share some of what my theories are regarding past lives and where our souls go when we die type of thing. Of course, my spiritual path is still evolving. I believe that learning is a lifetime process, and any religious practice where you stagnate, I don't think is doing its job. I believe that spirituality should be a lifelong process, and that throughout our lives we need to grow, we need to evolve, we need to change for the benefit of being better people, learning lessons, and all of that. To me, wisdom is more important than any type of material riches. Wisdom is just greater than any jewel to me. But that being said, I have been reading the book Only Love is Real by Brian Weiss. This book is not quite as popular as his other one, Many Lives, Many Masters. A lot of people have read that. He's a psychiatrist who has specialized in doing past life. He hypnotizes people so that they can recall their past lives. It's very intriguing, and it's very convincing for people who don't believe in that. He's done, I think, thousands at this point, but it's gotten to the point where people can remember specific events and names and things like that, and people have actually visited the graves of what Dr. Weiss believes is their previous bodies. And so many of the facts have been able to be verified that the people existed, and even at one point, one of the women was able to share personal information about the death of this doctor's infant son, as well as his father. These were facts that nobody could have found out, by reading or by accident or research or anything. It was specific things that only Dr. Weiss knew. So it's very cool. There's a lot of really great quotes in there by Carl Jung and some others. I wish I could share them all, but there are quite a few. Maybe I'll read the one. There was one I read today that I really liked. Oh, this one. Okay, the soul of man is like to water. From heaven it cometh, to heaven it riseth, and then returneth to earth, forever alternating. Now, most people believe that during the hypnosis, in this type of thing, that we're recalling past lives. That our specific soul has been reincarnated over and over and over again. I have studied neuroscience, and I've studied a lot of the brain stuff, and I kind of have a different take on it. I believe, knowing what I know about brain stems and the lower portions of the brain, that those are kind of like our the parts that we can't access on a conscious level. They're the parts that control things that are more primitive, like eating, sleeping, stuff like that. Science just now is starting to really uncover specifics on DNA and what gene sequencing controls, in order to, now they can manipulate certain genes to prevent, genetic illnesses and things like that. Well, my take on the whole thing is that I believe that our ancestors pass on some of their memory or specific memories and things like that, and that it somehow is carried over in our DNA and probably stored in that part of the brain, parts of the brain that we don't access. I mean, there's huge parts of the brain that we don't use, when they study it. We only use a small part of our brain. So what does all that other part of your brain do? What's it for? How do you use it? I think that in a state of hypnosis, when we're in that unconscious state, that we have access to things that we don't normally have. That's why some people experience like past lives in their dreams. And this whole idea, I love Carl Jung. I love his idea of the collective unconscious. And I believe that this whole theory about past lives and stuff has something to do with that. I believe that, those memories, those archetypes, those certain things are stored and somehow passed from generation to generation. I can state from experience, looking back on my biological history, I was adopted. So I can be certain that I was raised completely different than my ancestors would have been. But if I look back, because I was reunited, in my biological history, I can see the pattern of how generation after generation has had similar issues and problems and repeated them. So Weiss's idea is that in accessing our past lives and figuring out, kind of why our fears, where they come from, why we have issues in relationships that we do, somehow that accessing these either past lives, depending what you believe, somehow allows us to release those fears, those inhibitions, those problems in relationships that we otherwise couldn't. It seems people with those types of things have like similar problems, like sleep disturbances, depression, and stuff like that. And yeah, so I thought I would share that. In the book I'm reading, it's a beautiful story. It's like these two separate people from different parts of the world are both in counseling at the same time with the same doctor, and he discovers pretty much by accident that these past lives that these two people separately in therapy are describing are the same. So I haven't gotten to the ends, but I think I have an idea what's going to happen. Also, I wanted to say I was very surprised. Mark Townsend actually commented on a video that I was talking about one of his books, or several of his books, and I was like so surprised that this guy is watching my videos. It's amazing to find out, like, when somebody you really respect or admire is watching your videos. It's just like, I feel like I'm just little old me, and I feel like nobody watches my videos or really cares. But it's really cool when that happens. And of course, I went to reply to him and I accidentally deleted the comment, so sorry about that. Plus, he's really handsome. I don't know if you guys have checked out his videos or his books, but he's pretty hot. So I thought I would share that with you guys. I'm going to keep making regular videos, because I noticed that I get more lonely and depressed when I'm not doing them on a regular basis. You guys are my support system, so I thank you, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and blessed be. Bye.